How are you all doing?
We are
Yeah,
doing good.
yeah, good. You.
Very good.
I'm also doing well. Okay, I think we are going to start. If you are ready, I'm also ready. Okay. There's something wrong with my network, so let me just put up the video. I think if I need to put it back on, I'll do so. But how was the week in general? Your classes, your lessons, the students, and have you already started teaching Python? I just want to know. How many of you have started teaching Python already?
We have not started yet. According to the curriculum, it will be somewhere next year.
Okay. Then it's good we are preparing together, right? Yeah. Okay, so I made a lot of promises. Can you guys remind me of some of them? I don't want to do promise and fail. If nobody remembers, then I'll just say praise the Lord and I'll continue. Because it means that I'll not owe anyone. Okay. So basically, today is just an introductory class, right? Introductory lesson. We wouldn't really go or do so much. We just want to introduce ourselves to the world of Python and then get started writing some few Python codes. Okay. Teachers, we like asking questions. So when I ask questions, please don't be bothered. I know you are tired. When you are tired and they're asking you questions, it's not easy at all. I just do your best for me. Today, we will not keep long, maximum 1 hour, we are out of here. Okay. So we are looking at some few things today. First of all, we look at a little history of Python. We look about compiled versus interpreted. And then we look at how to install Python on our computers. I think that was a major request in our previous session to walk you guys through the installation process. So I decided to do that in this class. Then from there, we'll move on to some development tools and we'll write our first Python code. I think I added some activities here, some resources you can check out. Okay, let's get started. So what you expect today, I've made you aware. We just look at a little history, brief one. And then we'll dive into the rest of the sections. I don't know, my internet is, I think, no, this one is not the internet, it's the PC. So kindly confirm you can see my screen also. I know you can hear my voice, but can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good.
All clear.
So awesome, awesome. Thank you, sir. So the big question of anything you decide to do in this world should be why, right? The why of why do you even want to learn Python? Why do we choose any other programming language? So we also want to be able to answer this question of why by the time we are done with this session, this 1 hour short, brief session. Okay, so Python was created by a gentleman, right, called Guido van Rossum. And the guy is actually a Dutch programmer. So he used to watch a very funny or interesting TV program. And I think he fell in love with the program. So when he was building this programming language, he decided to just name the programming language after his favorite TV show, right? And the name of the program was Monty Python's Flying Circus. So he just named it and say, hey, I'll just call my programming language Python. Okay. So what we are just basically trying to say is that, see, the guy connected his passion or what made him happy, what gave him excitement to the hard work he was doing behind the scene. So this should just tell you that learning should not be boring, or learning Python should not be boring, because the guy who invented Python in the first place, he attached it to something that was fun and interesting and exciting, right? Okay. So we have to design our lessons and our interaction in such a way that it will be very, very fun and not boring. So the history, I'll leave it for the historians, right? 1989, the beginning of his hard work to develop Python, right? So during his holidays, he was working hard on this project. He wanted to build something that was easy to read and write. And this is one of the reasons why we have chosen Python, right? Because it's easy to read and also to write Python code. So I think GS has really done, or they made a great choice to select Python, right, for our students, because it is very, very close to our normal English, let's say our English language. Okay. Now we are ICT teachers, so I can feel free and ask questions. Now, do you know about these programming languages and their evolutions, right? Who can tell me a little about programming languages and their evolutions from the low level to the high level? Any idea you have at all, you can share with us. Anyone? Anyone to help us? Let me see the chat. I think someone is typing something in the chat. Let me check. And also try to mute yourself when you join the call. Please try to do so. Is someone contributing?
Yeah, I think there are 5 generations of programming language, the evolutions.
Okay.
So the first generation will be the low level, which is made up of the machine language and then the assembly language.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the high level will be the third generation.
So the machine language, let's quickly brush over it. What is machine language in just one sentence?
So binaries. Zeros
Yeah,
and
what
ones.
is zeros and
Binary
ones?
language. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hey, some people are not contributing, but I don't know. Their background is so noisy. Okay, then continue on. Then we come to assembly, right?
Yes, so the assembly will be, that is when the language move from binary to mnemonics, like using shorthand to write the code, maybe symbols.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
And then the high level is when they started trying to make.
So is it that his line is gone off? I think so. So we have the machine code assembly as he's spoken. Then we have the high level languages, right? And this gives us a lot of abstraction from the hardware, like Fortran, COBOL. These are very old languages. And when you have some legacy systems, they still use them. Then we have the procedural languages like the C, Pascal, and what have you, right? Then we came to the object-oriented programming. And that's where we have C++, Java, and our lovely Python.
Java. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, you can add the families of those C# and all of them, they are there. Then we also came to what? Scripting. Over there, you can still find Python there, right? Then also for object-oriented programming and blah, blah, blah. I'm not here to do too much of that, but just to give us a high-level overview. So there was a time that if you want to communicate with computers, you have to be good in zeros and ones. And at the basic level, if you learn electronics, they'll tell you 0 means the electricity is gone off and 1 means it is on. So this kind of low-level communication, whereby maybe on, off, will mean maybe come, and off will mean go. So it can just be something like those times. I think military people use that to communicate in what we call the Morse code, right? Let's put that one aside. Okay. So after all the hard work he did, Python was finally released in the year 1991. I know most of us were born or not born at that time. Okay. So 2000, they now had to introduce list comprehensions, a very wonderful thing we'll see later, and then garbage collection. So this is when people started looking out for Python, the new kid on the block. He was gaining popularity, right? Then 2008, there was a major design in Python, so that Python 2, right, and Python 3, there were two main versions. Python 2 had a huge jump to Python 3. So if you look at Python 2, the syntax is quite different from Python 3. So in 2008, that's when we had to now find a way to make Python, okay, compatible, that Python 3 compatible with Python 2. For instance, in Python 2, when you want to print something to the console, you just type the word print and then you bring whatever thing you want to print after that. But in Python 3, when you type the word print, you must place a bracket and put whatever you want to print inside that bracket. So this is just one example of the syntax difference. When I say syntax, it's just about the way or style of writing the language. Okay. Then 2020, Python 2 was no longer supported, had to give way fully to Python 3. And up to date, we are still using Python 3, different versions of Python 3. Okay, awesome. So currently, Python has become so versatile, right? In almost every field, you find people using Python. Networking guys are using Python. Data science guys are using Python. Data analysts obviously will use Python. AI engineers are using Python. And web developers are using Python to build the back end like Django and Flask, right? So Python has become a very versatile language. It's being used in almost every field, right? That you can just imagine. Okay. So that is why we are saying if someone wants to learn how to program, there are two schools of thought. Teach the person the hard way. Later on, the person will come and learn. If the person becomes good, he can learn any other language. Then another school of thought is saying that, see, people started learning programming the hard way and they gave up, or they just learned it for the sake of passing exams, and they never returned to programming. I know people who have done computer science in a university, first degree, and I meet them and they tell me that they hate programming. And I just laugh. Yeah, and I don't blame them because at the university level, you can be forced to learn about 6 programming languages. And at that level, you see, you don't ever get depth, right? You are just taught the syntax and you have to write 1 or 2 small scripts. Then you jump to the next language. Syntax, 1 or 2 more scripts, jump to the next language. So you finish, like you know a lot of syntax mixed up in your head, but you've never been able to build anything interesting or fun. And then they just lose joy in the whole learning programming stuff. And some of them even want to now just go into other areas that has nothing to do with, what do you call it? Programming. I've been meeting a lot of them. Okay, so that is what we may want to avoid at this level, right? Let's teach them Python. Let's make it interesting. Let's give them some depth, a little depth. Let's let them get their hands a little dirty. Let them build some 1 or 2 applications. Let's teach them how to host these applications on the web and even share it with family and friends. Yeah, to help them to become creative, to solve simple problems with Python. And that way they'll become interested in the world of programming. That is when the child will now say, hey, I want to learn something else in addition to Python so I can build something more sophisticated. So yours is just to make them love one thing and have fun with it. The rest, don't worry, they're going to do the hard work themselves. Okay, so Python, we've already mentioned the readability of the syntax, right? It's almost like English, like the first code I just mentioned, print. Who doesn't understand the meaning of the word print? It's a derivative print, right? So it's perfect for our people quick results. Now, the thing is that sometimes even at work, when I'm designing a product, to tell you the truth, Python may not be the most robust programming language, right? But if you have about 4 weeks to build a prototype to show to your stakeholders or your CEO or whoever is interested, right? You may not want to go and start using C++ or Rust. That one may take you a longer period to build. So for prototyping and building something that you can easily show and quickly show, you can use Python to do that without sweating. So it gives you quick results. And then when people see quick results, it's better than waiting so many weeks and they lose interest in the whole thing. And they just say, just take your product. I'm not more interested. So if it's the same with even people who want to make money from products, how much more learners who want to learn programming? You'll just give up and you'll just come and sit in your class for sitting's sake. Okay, so the real world power of Python, as I said, is used at Google, right? All the data scientists, data analysts, AI engineers, cloud engineers. I don't know anybody who's a cloud engineer, data scientist, data analyst who does not take Python serious. So at first there was a competitor to Python, right? And that was a language called R. When it comes to the world of data science, AI, and the rest, R was like trying to compete. But now I hardly hear of people even using R. So Python has won the game. So at NASA, so tell them, if you want to go work at Google one day, take Python serious. It will open the door for you. You want to work at Netflix, it will open the door. NASA, see yourself working there and you get there, right? And I've already spoken about how versatile it is in every field that has to do with IT. You go and meet Python. From game, everything, it is there. Thank you for that. Okay. Any questions? Or we should keep on rolling? These materials, are they interesting? Would you like to have them? I think this was one of the things I promised, right?
Yes.
Don't worry, I'll be sharing them with you. I'll be sharing them with you. Yeah, the reason why I prepared it, I didn't prepare it for myself, so I'll give them out. Okay. So the number one thing is that it is readable. We've spoken about it over and over again. So let's just go to the next thing, major thing I just want to talk about. Now, when we take the programming languages, we can split them into two: the compiled languages and then the interpreted languages, right? So compiled will do everything at once and then says that, hey, here you are, the whole entire thing is working, right? And I just put a very simple analogy here. You hire a translator to translate an entire book, maybe from French to English. Then you cook from that book, right? You can now read the menus or the menu in the book in English, and you enjoy cooking with an English book. A French book, you may end up cooking something you may not be able to eat at the end of the day. So a compiled approach, the translator is the one who is like working or processing the code, right? So over here, we are taking your code to be in a form of, let's say, French. So the one who will move your code that you have written in French to English, which the computer can now use to cook. What's happening? Please, when you join the call, mute yourself. Theophilus. Okay. I want to draw, but today I didn't bring my pen. So what I'm saying, let me go over that part again before the noise came in. There is you, the human being. I was talking about a cookbook, right? That is the code. Then you, the one who wrote the cookbook, okay? The one who wrote the cookbook is you. And let's say you wrote the cookbook in, let's say, Akan language or G. Now you are handing over this cookbook to the computer. And the computer is expected to read and understand whatever you have written in the cookbook and then implement or cook your food for you. So what happens in this situation? There is a special process that is going to happen in the computer. That process will try to translate all that you have written in the Akan language, or let's say French, into something that the computer can really understand all at a go, even before the computer starts to read the book. But with the interpreted approach, right, this is what the translator will do. The translator will stand right next to you. And then each recipe, he reads it line after line. When he reads the line to you, then he interprets it to a language you understand. Then you also prepare the food. I hope I've not confused you. Say if you can't teach them, confuse them. So
Please, can you repeat that? Can you repeat
yeah,
that for us?
I'm going to repeat that. But I hope you can see my screen. Are the text too
Okay,
small?
thank you.
Let me make it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, they are
Maybe
okay.
so small. They are okay. Okay. I should have add some drawing. I think the drawing will make it fun. So next time I'll add the drawing of the translator and
The
the
tests
person
are
who is
small.
receiving the translation.
The
I
tests
hope
are
it's
small.
better now. Is it better now? I hope it's better now.
Yeah, it is.
Good. So I'm going over that again. Two translators. One is called the compiler. One is called the interpreter. They are all supposed to help you understand the book that is in, let's say, French. Let me make it very short and simple. So one of them, that is the compiler. How does he do his translation? He will take his time and read the entire French book. At the end of the day, he will just translate everything to English and give you an English book. So he just takes the French book from you, translates everything to English, then he hands over the English book to you. That is the compiler. So he will do his work at once. He doesn't do it in steps. At a go, he will finish processing the entire book and give you the result. Then you can start using the book in English, right? Now with the interpreter, okay, there's one called the interpreter. He's different from the compiler. He will stand by you. When he reads one line, he will in French, then he will interpret it to you in English. So if the line is place a tomato in the pot in French, I don't know how you say it in French, but he'll read it in French and he will tell you in English, place a tomato in the pot. Then he'll go and read the next one line in French and come and tell you the interpretation in English. So you'll be doing the thing step by step. But with the first guy called the compiler, he has already interpreted everything for you. So you just take the book and you just follow all the steps at a go. So that's how these two are different from each other, right? So Python will fall under the second. So when you give, or when you write a Python code and you give it to your computer to try to understand it, your computer will be reading the code line after line, line after line. But with languages like C++, Java, and Rust, okay, after you finish writing the whole code, when you give it to the computer to run, okay, it will compile the code. So you try to understand everything from head to toe, even before it begins to now implement whatever is in the code. So basically, when it compiles the code, it creates a new file we call an executable file. And now this executable file, you cannot carry it anywhere. Executable file means you can execute it on any hardware device, right? Or any computer. So with Python, there's nothing like an executable file produced after a compilation step, but rather you just have a Python script and line after line, the script will be read. And then as it's being read, it's being interpreted and the computer is making use of the instructions. Any questions?
So I have a question. I don't know if you are yet to get there. I've already even written it in the chat, but let me read it. I
Okay.
asked whether compilers or interpreters translate to machine language directly or they first translate via assembly language.
Okay. Who would like to respond to that? But the one asking the question, yeah, I always have a feeling, right, that those who ask these questions, they already know the answer to it. Am I right or I'm wrong?
I have some issue because I did not particularly read it, but I think we were dealing with some robotics kit somewhere, and I heard a statement
Okay.
like that. I don't know how correct that is.
Okay.
I was baffled because somebody was saying that the Python had to be translated to the assembly language and later to the machine language. So I didn't get it. Is it for some specific applications, or which of them are translated directly and which of them have to go through assembly language? Or is assembly language involved in this translation, or we don't use it in maybe modern PCs like this? That's what the clarity I'm seeking.
Okay, so let me keep it simple. I don't want to confuse anyone because I didn't even include that in what I'm teaching. Well, let me just make it very, very simple. Okay. So compilers will translate the entire program, right, to machine code. Okay, or what we call assembly, right? Then machine code. And then to create an executable file, right? And you can run this one directly on the CPU. That makes sense. So when you are dealing with interpreters, okay, what they do is that they read the code line by line. Then as they are reading the code line by line, they are translating it on the fly to machine code without creating an executable file. I just want to keep it this simple. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
please.
So
does.
they both end up translating to machine code. Both of them translate to machine code. Because if it doesn't get to the machine level, how can the computer understand? But with the compilers, maybe the question that you were asking is that it is definitely getting to machine code, right? But what happens is that it will first of all move it to assembly code before it will
That's
now move
what
to
I
what?
want to know.
Okay,
Is
okay.
assembly code at all involved in this phenomenon?
Yes. For compilers, yes. You can see that it moves to assembly first before machine code. Yeah. But I don't want to confuse. I don't want people to run away from this class. So let me just put it there. Okay. But in case somebody is asking, you know that at least for compilers, if you want to go a little bit deeper, they will move to assembly before they move to machine. But for interpreters on the fly, as they are reading line after line, when they read the line, they change it to what? Machine code on the fly. Okay. Let's continue. So definitely if they ask you that question, assembly comes before what? Machine code and not after. Okay. But I've seen some compilers that will just skip assembly code and go straight to machine code. So at the back of your mind to know that it is not a fixed thing. It can vary. Okay, let's come back to where we were. We are coming back to land. Okay. So I've explained this already. Compile languages, write the code in your language. A compiler translates all your code into machine code. That's the ones and zeros. And this is what to create the executable file .exe. So when you see any .exe, it is an executable file. And then you can run this executable file on any device, right? In the other way, on the other side, Python, you write the code in your programming language like Python. The interpreter will go line after line. Each line is translated and executed immediately. That is in machine code, right? Then there's nothing like a separate executable file. No. Okay, now we are looking at advantages and disadvantages. Compiled codes are fast. So some of the people who are against Python, one of the things they say is that Python is slow. Maybe when you and I are using Python, we'll think it's fast. But at a certain level, for certain applications, high-speed applications like those who build, what do you call it, data streaming applications, and then those who are trading Forex. You see the way the Forex signals are produced in microseconds or whatever you can't use Python as the back end for those kind of applications. It will be too slow to handle such high speed requests. So in those kind of applications, you find out that they are using most of these compile languages. Right now, the one that is like the promising one, upcoming kid on the block is for Rust. So after you learn Python, please start learning Rust. It is like one of the future programming languages that's going to boom very soon. Okay, that's just from a programming prophet. Let's continue. So its advantage is that it's just easy to write a test quickly. You can easily debug and learn it. And then it's platform independent, right? Can work on almost every platform, Linux, Windows, what have you. So with compile languages, if you have ever worked with any of them, they are a little annoying to work with, right? Because if there's a problem on any line, when you finish correcting that problem, you must go back and go and compile the whole thing from head to toe before you can now test the entire code. So the entire code must exist as one object. So when something is wrong inside it, you must produce another object on its own before it can be useful. But for Python, you just fix that line, and just that line will be read again, and then every other thing is not affected. Okay. So compile languages, depending on what kind of human being you are, you may think it's easier, but for most people, it is more complex to learn. And for compiled, right, it is platform specific. I think I mentioned that already. And for Python or whatever, the rest that we have, since they are being read line by line, you will never know that there's a problem until you begin to actually execute the code or run the code itself. But for these compiled languages, since you have to compile the thing and put it down, then when you want to execute it, you now run the executable. If there's a problem, you discover that problem at the time you are compiling the code. So even before you compile the code and say that, hey, this code is now good, you would have fixed all the bugs before you go and put it in your storage room that you use later on, right? But for Python, it's not like that. You may finish everything and you may not necessarily run or execute the whole code from head to toe to know at once whether it's working, except you are testing. Okay. Now we are getting away from the boring parts. We're now going to do something a little more interesting. Okay. So let's look at something briefly. How many minutes? We've used 30 minutes already. Okay. Now what we want to look at is that Python is not always a binary language, right? It's a bit of both worlds. So you can write a Python code and save it in a .py file. And then we can also compile this into bytecode, right? In what we call a .pyc file in PyCache. Don't worry about what that is for now, but just know it. Then we can also have a Python virtual machine which interprets the bytecode, right? And then finally, our Python code runs. Okay. Please, if you have a question, just drop it in the chat and I will respond to it. So we've understood that clear point that Python will run the code without creating a separate file. Okay, now we are at the installation of Python. So we want to install Python on our computer. How many of us have already installed Python on our computers? If you have installed, just raise your hand in the chat for me. There's one quick way of finding out whether you have Python or you don't have Python. So you can open your terminal, okay? Let me try and open my terminal. So you click on the Windows key and then you just type CMD, right? That black screen that you are always afraid of. Today, I don't want you to be afraid of that black screen again. And but when they see this black screen, they have to close it immediately. They see it. They're like, "See, I don't want to mess up my computer." But when you become a developer, this is actually where you live most of the times. Oh, my terminal is misbehaving. Okay, hold on. I hope you can see my terminal now. Terminal is stable. Okay, good. Can you all see my terminal? Let me make it bigger.
Yes.
If you want to
Yes,
increase what is in your terminal, do you know how I'm increasing the size of what is showing in the terminal? Who can tell me?
no, no, please.
Okay, you just press and hold the control key, and then you add the plus button right at the top of your enter key on that's part of the numeric keys, right? That side. So you press and hold the control key, press and hold it down, and just keep on clicking hitting on that plus key on top of the enter key, and it will keep on expanding or increasing the size of your font.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Always working for you. So
Yeah.
a quick way to check whether Python is on your machine, we have Python version, right? Python version. So when you type this command in command prompt, if you have Python embedded in your system or already installed, when you hit enter, the version of Python you have will come on the screen. So you can try it out, let me know. If you've missed any step 2, let me know. I'll go over. Should we go on? No one is talking.
Yeah,
Are you trying
let's
it
go
out
on.
or we should go on?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's go on. Let's go
So, do you have it on your machine or you don't have it?
Just trying to.
Yeah, we have it.
So when all of you run this command, you're able to see this.
Please, my own is like I don't have it because what I'm seeing is Python version is not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch
Yeah.
file.
It means you don't have it. So this is the kind of problem you're going to have with your students. Say, I don't have it. They will tell you. So you are the IT teacher. You have to teach them how to install it. And actually, it's actually very, very simple, right? Just go to python.org. Python.org. When you go there, you see the installation
Down.
steps. Let's just go there. All of a sudden, my browser has become, I think it's my PC. I've run too many models on it today, so I have to restart, but I can't do it now. I can't restart it now. Let me see whether I can join this meeting with my other PC. But the way this one is behaving now, I'm scared. Okay, python.org. And then you hit enter. It should open that for you. So that's the official Python site, right? If you are downloading anything from python.org, you know that there's no virus attached to what you're downloading. For those who don't have it, quickly do this. Okay. You come to python.org, you click on downloads, right? It opened the download page. And right now, I believe most of you are on Windows. Is there anyone on Mac? I don't think so. Mac users will naturally have it on their computers. So then you click on download Python, right? Or you can get the standalone installer for Python 3.14, which is the latest one. So I can click on that one, standalone installer for Python 3.14. Or better still, you can just click on the download Python install manager. That's all. So whichever works for you, you download, and you see it's downloading, right? If I look at my browser, it's downloading the file. Okay, I think it's almost done. Check. Yeah, I think it's done now.
Please, you said after clicking on downloads.
Yeah, it will bring you to this page. Then you can click on the download Python install manager, and then it will download it automatically for you. So after you are done, you can go to your downloads folder and you go and find the executable there, and you can run it. So let me open my downloads folder. So you can also open yours and then look for that executable.
Download Windows installer.
I hope you are all on the same page. Let me try and close some applications on my PC. I think the RAM has been used to maximum. So I see I actually downloaded two things, right? The Python manager and then the Python 3.1.4. This executable will just be a faster way of installing Python. So I open the executable. And then there are installation steps you have to follow, right? So I'll just go for the install now. So I'll click on the install now. And then the installation process begins. It will ask me to accept, and I'll say yes, right? And the installation process continues. Just have to wait a little, and then it will be done. It's taking longer than I expected. So you can see it's not the interpreter, right?
Okay.
How we spoke. Yeah, it will be done very soon. I think, unfortunately, I choose this computer today. It's very slow. I'm sure most of you have finished installing yours. When you see anything now that has to do with path, okay, path, just make sure that you select path. You should add it to the path. The path is an environment variable. And basically what it means is that if you add it to path, Python can be opened anywhere on your computer. You just keep that one in mind. So when they are installing any
Okay.
program and they ask you to add it to path, you can choose that option. It means that you can execute that program or call it from anywhere on your computer. Else, if you don't
Okay.
do that, you have to go to where you downloaded the executable before you can run that particular program. So just take note of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Please, so I'm having a challenge more.
Okay, go ahead.
My own when I'm installing it, it send me back to the command prompt. And the rating goes like this: Python and some other apps can exceed this limit, but it requires changing a system-wide setting which may need an administrator to approve and will require a reboot. So update setting now into bracket y/n.
Yes or no?
Okay. So should I type yes there?
I'm thinking you type yes and you may be your computer will restart. But which approach did you use? Which of them did you use? Did you use the install manager or you use the 3.14?
I did not even see the 3.4. I only see the install manager.
So the 3.14 is actually just below. You see this one, this one, this it here. You just click on this
Yeah.
one. Yeah. So try
Okay.
that one to let me see. Try that one, let me see.
Okay.
Just
Any
I
other
went in.
persistent issue?
Can you please just go to quickly just go through the installation because my network went off and I was at where
Okay.
you said we should type a Python version
Yeah.
and
Okay.
when I
Okay.
typed that, it told me that I don't have any, my computer hasn't recognized anything like Python.
Okay.
Which
So go
means
to
I don't have to type
python.org. Go to
just
python.org.
on the browser.
Yeah, on the browser. Python.org. If you want to come directly to where we are, then just add a /downloads. Python.org/downloads. That's the backward slash. Then to bring you straight to this very page. When you come here, you see the latest version here. Today it is 3.14, tomorrow it may be 3.15. So you can just click and install that specific installer, right? I don't know why it is taking so long today.
Yeah,
This
there's a
PC,
download Python.org.
download Python
Python
3.
3.7.
Are you on this very page?
There are different
I think come up. I think you are down. So come up. The very top here.
Okay.
At the top here, where the umbrellas, I say umbrellas, where the parachute is, the picture of the parachute. Do you see that? You see this.
Okay.
Or get the standalone installer, this one. So when you hover over this text, you have the hand coming up. You click on it here. Okay, are we done?
Yeah, my own is on progress, like your own.
I'm wondering what is going on. Okay. It's taking too long, too long. I've joined my other computer. Let me test this, what is going on. Whether it's going to be the same thing.
Mine is done.
Yeah, yours is done. Yeah.
Yeah. It gave me it's like the command prompt interface. That is it. Is it what am I
Okay.
supposed to do?
So when you come to the downloads, as I said, you hit on this. You can even have it here. When you just hover on the downloads, and you can just draw your mouse here, it will download the file. So this PC is very fast.
Yeah.
So
That's
once
what
that is it, yeah. So once the executable is downloaded, you can open it up. Okay, I think the other PCs are also finished. My PCs are playing with me. Okay, so once you are done, you just click on close. And once I close it, if you go back and you check from your command prompt, you type Python -" version, you should see Python has now been installed on your computer. Let me know if it works now.
my case, I did that, but I still have what one of my colleagues said, but I'm able to launch it from the back end. But it was not showing whether the version is had already installed, but I was able to launch it at the back end.
How did you launch it at the back end?
And it's like you told us that it can be launched anywhere on the computer.
Yeah.
And I
So
thought
how did you launch it?
I just double click on it and it gave me like the command prompt interface. So this is what I'm saying. And I want to
Hello,
explain what.
sir. I can also confirm what my brother is saying. When I use the command, it says it's not valid. But when I launch it, I even wrote a statement and it came.
Okay,
It
so
displayed the command in the black screen, no, to
okay,
show
I've seen
that
the
the
issue.
Python is installed, and then it can even run a simple statement. But when you go
Yeah.
to the command prompt to check the version, it tells you it's not recognized.
I think you are still in the old command prompt we opened. So you close it and open a new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about when you are using a Mac machine, how can you check whether it is installed or not?
Type Python -" version and let me see what you get.
I've tried that in the terminal, but it is not coming.
Okay, then try Python 3. Add a 3 to the Python.
Okay.
Say, I
check.
still get Python was not found. I actually downloaded the 3.1 because I didn't see I went to the Windows, I didn't see what you were pointing, but I downloaded something from the same site. I think that one was 3.1 point something. So it's open, all right, but I'm seeing the statement Python was not found.
It has not been added to the path. That's all that's happening.
But why is it now running on the computer?
Why is it not running?
Why is it now running? When you open it, open fine. Then you type a distinct statement there, then it appears to run. But when you come to the command prompt, it says it's not found.
Yes, it's not found because it is not in path. You see, I mentioned something about path, right? Path is the one that makes a program available everywhere in a computer when it's called from the terminal. So right now, when you open the Python application itself, it is opening at where it was downloaded or installed. It's not being opened like in the global space. So we have to now find a way of adding that Python to path. Don't worry, we'll do that. Any other person having any other issues?
So my own, it is like setup was successful. So that's where you are saying we should close that this thing.
Number of meeting be 8.
Yeah.
But
Setup was successful. New to Python. Start with the online tutorial something.
Okay.
So I should close
Yeah,
that window.
you can close that. You can close that.
Okay.
Then if you previously opened an old command prompt, you can close it up. Okay.
So I should close the old command prompt.
Yes, and try and open a new one.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me show you something. Now those who have already installed it, okay, it is not too late. We can still modify it, right? So when you open the installer, let me share my other screen again. Sorry. So you see what I'm talking about. So if you can see this very screen, hold on, I'm coming. Okay, so on this very screen, I just opened the installer again, the same installer. So when you open the installer again, what you see is it will open this interface again for you. Then is what I meant by if you see these two things at the bottom here, check them, okay? Let's add them to the path, that's all. So when you click add to path, anywhere you call it in command prompt, it will work. I think the first one I opened it, I forgot to check these two things, okay? Or this very last one. I just click on the install now. Let me know if you're able to open it and see this below here. Just open your installer again and let me know whether you're able to see this add to path. Are you able to see it?
I did that. I checked the two, so it was able to open for me.
So when you call Python from the command prompt, it was able to recognize it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Let me try it again. Yeah. At
Oh,
first,
okay.
it wasn't recognizing it, but now let me try it again.
Yeah, try it again. Let's see. So make sure your students don't miss that step. Yeah. So those who have already done it, if you open it, you will see something called modify. Click on modify, okay? And then when you go to modify, you can go and check what I just mentioned. Have you seen that?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so you go to modify, then the first page that will come, just click on next. Then on the next page, rather, you see that over there, like this, what I'm seeing right here. So on the next page, you see this.
Add Python to environment variables, or you said which one should?
Yeah, that one. So the path is the environment variables. That's what I'm referring to. Okay. Then you just reinstall it. That's all.
Oh, that's
then
true.
After that, it should work. Is it working now?
It has now recognized, it has displayed the version in command prompt.
Awesome. So right now it can be called from anywhere. Okay. Are we all good? So it's good we are having these issues so that when our people also have the same issues, we can let them know what to do. If everything is too smooth and somebody deviates a little, you don't know how to help the person. Okay. So we continue. So we can now verify from command prompt and then Python version is now working. Okay. Now someone was, yeah, hello. Someone mentioned they also tried to run some commands and they were getting.
Hello, sir. If we had left it like that and it's running, is it that you get to some place and there will be problems or what?
Yeah, there'll be issues later on. When you are trying to call Python from other, we'll be using what we call integrated development environment, like an IDE, right?
Okay.
And you may want to call Python and then Python will be misbehaving. It will not respond to your call. So the good thing is that even from your terminal, so the first thing I'm showing you is how to run Python codes, or let me say scripts from your terminal, right? This terminal itself. The black space you always try to avoid. So now when we type Python in this terminal, just type the word Python. Don't add anything to it. And hit enter. When you do that, it opens you up to the Python interpreter that was installed onto your computer. It has opened it for you. So when you see this interface right here, this brief interface that has changed, right? It means that any Python code you type here, it will be interpreted for you. So I mentioned the print, right? So print, and then let's say hello world. This is usually the first thing. I don't know why it's always the first thing, but can type print hello world. And as I said, the syntax for Python 3, you must put whatever you want to print in brackets, right? And this is a data type we call strings. Strings is just any text we place in between quotes. So I want to print this string called hello world, and I just hit enter. And then I have my hello world being printed for me. Hooray! You have successfully run your first Python code in the terminal. Let me add that to it in the terminal. Now, besides printing, you can even use Python as a calculator. So somebody's buying something from you at the shop, you can open your command prompt, type Python, and Python interpreter is amazing. It understands how to do calculations. So you buy tomatoes, 3 cedis, you buy what? Tin of milk, what again? Eggs. And then you just hit enter. Python will give you the results. So Python interpreter, I always tell people that you can use it as a calculator. Yeah. Okay. The other fun stuff you can do, but let's end here. So calculator, we know I have addition. We also have what? Multiplication, right?
Multiplication, yeah.
Unfortunately, multiplication looks like a star in Python. So 3, and we also have division, right? 6 divided by 3, right? 2. And we also have 5 divided by 2. We have this. What about 5 divided by this 2? This is a different kind of division, which truncates the decimal part. Okay, so this is using Python as a calculator. Any questions? So you can do sine, cos, tan, all those things, trigonometry, you can do it here. You just may have to import some fancy library and then use it. Any questions?
We are okay. We are following you.
Okay. Good. So in Python, we have some special packages, right? That people prepare. See, people say that, hey, I want to use Python to do advanced mathematics. So the person will sit down and go and write his own codes, many codes that are able to solve certain kind of math problems, like let's say trigonometry. Then you go and store those codes somewhere that you can easily bring those codes. You didn't suffer to write those codes, but you can bring the codes into your interpreter and then use the codes. So let's say somebody sat down somewhere to create a library called math, right? Math. And inside that math library, he has put in so many good stuff there. So let me just import math. So I've imported the math. And now, as I said, I can do course, right? So inside math, if I want to pull something from inside of math, you just use a full stop or a dot.
What?
So from math, I want to use the course
Dot.
function inside math, right? Math.course. And then, please, I'm not worrying you with math, so forgive me. So math.radians, right? Radians, and then we have 90 here. Let me close the first bracket, close the second bracket. What will be the answer? That is this number. This number is so small that it is the same as 0. Do you believe or you don't believe? This number is approximately 0. Okay.
How?
Any questions? We say how.
Cos 90 is 0.
Yeah, cos 90 is 0. So,
Yes.
so why are we getting? I'm saying that this number is so small, it's almost like 0.
Cos 90, so far as cos is there and 90 is there, meaning that cos 90 is 0. So it may be true.
So look at it. I've rounded it. I'm rounding it, right? You know, rounding numbers. I've rounded it to one
Yeah.
decimal place, and I'm getting this number here.
0.0.
Yeah, which is essentially 0. So this number is like
Yeah.
0.0000000 something. This is 17 zeros. So before the 6 will come. Do you get it?
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. This is not the math class. So let me
So,
end.
yeah, I believe
Let
it
me
now.
do 18 decimal places and let's see. No, it will not even show. I can do it to maybe just 4 so that you believe it more. It's still 0. Okay, let's continue. So that's it. You can use it Python as a calculator. We are done with this. Terminal. Bye-bye. Okay. And I've explained why you must have to add it, the path, right? Make it globally available. Okay, so Python interpreter is the core that runs Python code. So if you install Python, the interpreter is available in the terminal. You can be run Python code in the terminal. When you connect an IDE, okay, and that's why we use to edit Python code in a more fun way. Terminal is boring. Everything is black. So let's just install our first IDE. My time is almost up, but let's just install our first IDE. And this IDE, I love it so much because that was one of the IDEs that made me love Python. It's not a terminal. I didn't learn Python with terminal, no. So we call the IDE. Who can get the name of the IDE? The IDE is the name of a person. It starts with TH. Never mind.
Tony.
Hey, this guy is
Tony.
smart. Yeah, Tony. Okay, so Tony, you just type Tony. And trust me, your students will love Tony. And I think it's a better IDE to use to introduce people to Python. The other ones that we use for advanced stuff, but Tony is like my favorite, yeah. So you can just type Tony in Google. More than often, that's the first thing you see, right? Just click on it. And you can even see Tony Python IDE for beginners. So you click on it and then to open the interface for you to download Tony. How many of you have been using Tony? The way someone just mentioned, I think the person is also a fan of Tony like myself.
Yeah.
one thing I love about Tony is when you make a mistake, it can take you visually step by step. It is just so amazing for you to see what is happening step by step in the code and what is causing the problem. When I saw that thing about Tony, see, I fell in love with it at once. So it makes what we call debugging. That is the process of finding faults. You see how visually appealing it even looks. So if you're on Windows, click on the Windows, you download it for free. So I'll just click on this one. Download it for free, right? And you can start using it on the fly. So we have Tony, that's for beginners. For the advanced people or the other people who may want to stick to another thing, we have PyCharm. We also have the most popular one now, which is Visual Studio Code. But once you know how to use Tony, you can use any of the other ones. If you have another one called Atom, you can use any of them. So the IDE gives you a colorful place to type your code, right? An interactive place and all in one place. So if you even look at the bottom of the picture here, you can even see that the terminal is even here. So it has everything at one place. So I don't have to go outside and go look for a terminal to use, then go and look for another extension to use. No, it puts everything together. That's why we call it integrated. Like integrated science, we have math, physics, chemistry, agric, integrated. So with an integrated development environment, everything is brought to you at one place, packaged nicely. So if you need terminal, you can use terminal. If you need somewhere to write a script, you have a place to write a script. Okay. I think it's downloaded. Let me just put my downloads and check it out. I know you guys are tired, so let me not try to drag it too much. So Tony is okay, it is still downloading. It's done. Let me open it. Me myself, yeah, that's a question.
The latest version is
Recommended one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
4.1.17.
7.
I think so, yeah.
Depending on the version of your Windows, we have the 64-bit and 32-bit. Okay.
Okay.
It's still downloading.
My machine, I've changed it to the other one. The other one was too slow. We'll try this one. Yeah, this one is done. Almost done. Okay, any questions whilst we are waiting for it to download? I think the teachers are very good. They don't have any questions. So let's look at the other parts while we wait for this one to finish downloading. Okay, I'm looking at what I have down there in the notes. So this one, I'll host it as a website and I'll just share it with you. Okay. Later on, I'll also teach you guys how to host it yourself or create some of these materials and host yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to give you superpowers. So we are done with Tony. What else do I have on the material?
Oh my days. When you're ready.
Okay, so whilst Tony is downloading, I think let's look at another one, Google Colab. I think this is one of my other favorite ones. So you just type in your browser. This one is on the web. Okay, if you want to code Python online,
Ladies and gentlemen,
and even share your code with friends, Then just like Google Doc and Google Sheets, Google also has a product we call Google Colab. And with Google Colab, you can have your codes in what we call a notebook, right? And this notebook, you can share with people you are collaborating with. That's why it's called Colab. Google Colab. So you see it on my screen, right? So when it comes here, you just click on the very first one, Google Colab. Then this interface opens for you. So what do you choose here? You just choose, you can go to new notebook. If you already have a notebook on your PC, that is when you will choose the other option, that is open notebook. But most of us, this may be our first notebook that we are creating, right? So we click on new notebook. The reason why we call it notebook is that with Google Colab, see, the amazing thing is that it allows you to write your code and write notes under your code. So when you give your students a project work, you can choose to make them do it in Google Colab, whereby they write the code and they write maybe some notes under the code, or they explain the code that they've written.
Under the code, okay.
Under the code, yeah.
Okay.
And when they finish, they can just send you the link, right? And just send you the link. So as I said, it operates just like the Google Sheet, Google Doc, and the rest. If you are familiar with those ones, you should be familiar with this. So with all of those other ones, you can easily change the name, right, of the file just by double-clicking the space that you see me clicking here. So I can just call this any name at all. Maybe if you give them an assignment, they can just name it assignments with assignment names, maybe project 1 or whatever. Yeah. Then there's this share feature here, right? This is what enables you to people to share the notebook with you without even downloading it necessarily. Once they share this link with you, you can open the link anywhere and see all that they've done, live and colored. So it's good for collaboration.
That's nice.
And so 3 friends can even give themselves access to these links, right? So you can click on the share. Oh, my internet is bad. When you can click on the share, then add the emails of your friends, those whom you want to share the notebook with. So you give a project to, let's say, a group of 5 students. One person will create a notebook, and then the person will just add the other people here, right? Add their emails in this space over here. So you just type the email of the person you want to add, and then the person receives a notification that, see, you have been given access to this notebook. So let's say if the first person is supposed to work on question 1, you can start. Now there are 2 cells. This is a cell, right? You can create either a code cell, that is for your codes, and a text cell. So when I click on the text cell, you see these things are used to format text, right? So this is a text cell. So the person may put something like question 1. The internet is really, really messing up. So let's say you can type question 1, right? Then so something like this. Then naturally the code cells even open by themselves, but usually the text cells you have to click on text before they open. So if you see any cell above that you don't like, you can just go to where that cell is and just come far right and delete it. So let's say question 1 is here, then the code will now come below it. So maybe you write print. And you have this. So then maybe Kwame has finished question 1. Then he will just prompt Kofi, do the question 2. When you have time, do it. Then Kofi will also create a text cell, right? So I can click on the code cell here. Because I want the text cell below it, I'll click on the code cell. So that when I click on text cell, that text cell will go below the code cell. Then Kwame also come and type question 2. This is like a very basic way of collaborating. We have other ways. If there's time, I'll teach you what we call Git and GitHub. And maybe what should Kwame do? Maybe he told to demonstrate how to add 2 numbers, right? In Python. So you can see that the text cells gives us a nice way of writing text, normal text. And we can write our puts below it. So you as a teacher, what you can also do is that you can create a set of questions, series of questions, right? And the questions, you will create the question and then you leave the code cell blank. So you all just get the questions, but when you create the question there, your code cell will be empty like this, like what I've done for the question 2. Then you share the link with your students. Now, when you are sharing, you can just add their emails or you can just copy it and put it on WhatsApp. So when the students get it, what they will do is that they will not actually use your own, okay? They have to go to file and create a copy. So they will just create a copy of whatever you have shared, and that copy becomes their work now. Then they can rename it with their name, or they can add their name to it. Maybe project 1. Then you can give them a certain naming convention.
Please, can I ask a
Yeah, feel free.
please, is it only in Python or we can give exercises on other programming languages?
Python. Python. Someone told me that there was an extension, but I've not checked it out. But this was built for Python, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But who knows? Maybe there's something else in town that I don't know about. So let's go and find out and come and tell us. Maybe there may be a notebook. I think
All right.
I've heard of a notebook
Okay.
for JavaScript. I've heard of it, but I've not used it myself. So let's all go and find out and come and educate ourselves. Okay. I think you are loving the notebook style.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
you create.
loving
Okay.
it.
Yeah. It's also interesting. So you create this and they create a copy. So they just have to go to file. Then what is it? Save a copy in Drive. When they click on save a copy in Drive, it creates a copy from your original one. Then they can now edit that copy, right? They can just
Okay.
edit that copy. Then when they edit the copy, they can now submit that one to you. So when you are teaching them how to use all of these wonderful tools, they become interested in the whole thing. Okay. So the group leader can decide to just create question 1, leave about 4 code cells free. Question 2, leave 4 code cells. Question 3, leave 4 code cells. Then whoever is responsible for question 1 will do its part. Question 2 will do its part. Question 3 will do its part. And they can all be working on, maybe Amma can be working on question 1, Kofi will be working on question 2, Yeah, will be working on question 3, all of them working at the same time on the same link. And it will be seen, right? Who wants us to demonstrate? Who is on the PC right now and wants to try what I'm saying? Who is ready to type? I'll just add you right now. Who is ready behind their PC and has access to their email? I don't want someone who has forgotten their email address. Okay, let me just give it a general sharing. Let me just make this one general. So you see the sharing access, you can restrict it to people that you have added their emails here. But if you change the permissions here and make it anyone with the link, this one, anyone at all can edit. So I can just copy this link now and share it in the Zoom chat right now for you guys. So I copy the link. I'm going to share it in the chat right now. Then I want someone who wants to volunteer and just type something or type the answer for question 2 for us. Who's volunteering? I don't want all of you to be doing it at the same time. Who wants to volunteer? Let me know the person before you start typing.
I will.
Okay, so go ahead. We are all watching the screen for your answer. Let's see whether your answer will appear here. When you start, let us know that you have started.
I'm waiting for the link.
Link.
The link is in the chat, the Zoom chat.
Okay.
It has come
Can you
from
also,
Adele.
Okay. I was looking at the WhatsApp chat.
No. Zoom chat. Now, interestingly, you can open these notebooks even on your WhatsApp. That's one thing I should have mentioned. I'm saying WhatsApp on your mobile phone.
So I should open it and type anything, right?
Yeah, demonstrate to us how to add two numbers. So you just do 2 plus something or something, yeah.
Because I have a dancehall queen EP out on all streaming platforms, and I'm in songs like La Party Girl, which is a girls anthem, and I have Rush, aka my new song I'm promoting now. So I have a lot of
Are you done?
I get booked. I'll show Ghana what I have.
I'm adding them.
You want me to be
Okay.
and now it's available. Even me there on town.
I'm done.
Okay, you're done. Save it. Save it and let me see. Have you saved it?
I sent it to straight.
You send it away. You just save it. Go to file and save. No, wait. Okay, you hold on. Don't do anything. Let me just refresh the page. I'm refreshing the page. Sometimes you have to refresh it before you see the changes that have been made.
I've also done I've added 3 plus 3 and I have 6. I don't know if
Hold on. No, I wanted just one person to do it.
Oh,
I wanted
okay.
just one person. Yeah.
I hear.
I'm not seeing your changes. Let me double check the permissions I gave. Oh, sorry. Then you guys cannot edit. You see the permission that is on it right now is viewer. So if you want people to edit, I must change it and make it what? Editor.
Editor.
Sorry for that. Yeah. So now, please, only one person to do it. If 2 of you do it, it will create a conflict. So just one person. Are you done?
So please, if you save the copy, it will go to your Google Drive, right?
Yes. But what I'm asking you to do right now, don't save a copy. Just the link I shared in the chat, that's what you're just typing in. But let's say if you were to create a copy for yourself, it will go to your Google Drive, yeah.
Okay.
But this classwork you are doing right now, the person who is typing, who I asked to type, you just type it in the link I've given you.
So is anyone typing?
Yeah, done
Who is
typing.
typing? No, I changed the permissions. I
No.
wanted to type again.
He said one person or any of us can type.
This is the challenge. I should have just mentioned one particular name. Sorry for that. So who is the one typing for us?
So we don't have to define any variable we are creating or something.
No. Just this is additional. Just 3 plus 4. Something like that. That's all.
All right. I'm trying to open in what is displayed on this thing, and it's not the Zoom, and it's not.
I'm done with it. 3 plus 4 is 7. I don't know if you can see.
Let me refresh. Hold
for
on.
you only or for all
refresh.
users.
Okay, refresh and let's see
Class
if
administrative
Whether it will appear.
yeah.
Did you save it?
I haven't saved it too.
Save it. Just type Control S and let me see something. Control
Okay.
S.
So I cannot type in the cell, or what you are showing, I cannot type in it. But I thought you have changed it to editor.
Yes. Why they are not allowing you to type?
Yes.
Let me check again, please. Okay, do you see that appeared? Somebody has typed 3 plus 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it has appeared. So this is, you see, so automatically, if you were the person to do the question 2, whatever you did has appeared. So this is what I mean by you can collaborate with many people. So whilst I'm doing question 1, I'll just share the link with you and you continue with the question 2. So it can be that way, right?
Can you do question 1 and later on the other person will also be editing it?
Yeah. Now, if you like create a text cell, are you the one who did the 3 plus 3?
No, sir.
Yeah, I'm the one.
Just okay, the one who did the 3 plus 3, create a text cell, click on. Okay. You can click inside this code cell and click on the text cell. Another text cell will appear. Then create question 3 and let's see whether it work.
Okay, the text cell has come.
Okay, so you type question 3 and maybe just type demonstrate how to subtract in Python.
Okay.
And let's see whether it will appear here. Yeah. What if it is just save? Let's see.
Okay. Question 3. And the question is? The question is?
Demonstrate how to subtract in Python.
Okay. Very good. How to subtract. Yeah. And I'm gonna call everyone, but then they'll pay out. In Python. Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, somewhere. My mom who's watching, but then 2 plus. Yes. I've saved it.
Okay. Let's refresh. Sometimes I know you have to refresh. I'll just click on this thing to come.
Okay.
But it's delaying, so let me just refresh.
Can I also refresh it here? Or are you supposed to do the refresh?
The person who doesn't have the latest change is the one who may have to refresh their link.
Oh, okay.
So do you see that it is appearing? Do you see it? Do you see it has appeared here? Whatever you typed. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever he typed, you see it has appeared here. See that he didn't put the question there. Let me add it there for you. So when I also add something here, you also see it at your end. So this is a living, I call it a living notebook.
Okay.
The notebook is alive.
Okay. Just to sit in school and wake up and
what are we doing right now? We are collaborating.
Yeah.
We are collaborating. Yeah. So if you like refresh at your side and see whether you don't see what I've done.
No, time alone. Yeah, the sun to just.
You can see it, right?
Of course. Is there a shortcut, keyword shortcut?
So I'm saving it. Okay. So I'm saving it, Control S. Okay. So sometimes the reason why I advise that one person should work on one part of the question is that it's because of this very thing.
Okay.
So you see that they are saying that the notebook has been changed by somebody somewhere, and I'm also trying to change that same thing. But don't worry about this. It's not a big one. I'll just reload it, refresh it again. Okay, any questions? I think we are done for the day. I'm tired. You're also tired.
Because when I type, I think I've got a copy at the back of it. The same text page. What I type, the same thing has been repeated on the same text page, but there's a line just separating the two. I don't know if
just cancel one of them. I can see what you are facing. Okay. If it is possible to close one of them, just close it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, team. I think that will be all for today. That will be all for today.
It's not bad. It's okay.
Yeah. We shouldn't overload ourselves.
Yeah.
So don't go and overload the students too.
Thank you very much.
Little by little, we will get familiar with everything. Okay, you're welcome. So you all take care of yourself. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, you've made it very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you. With your help, we can do more. Okay. Bye-bye.
We pray that, but next when we meet next week, we might have advanced more.
You have made it very exciting.
Sharp.
You've done well. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Welcome. God bless you.
It's bless you. Bye-bye.
Way back, I started doing some for school.
Welcome.
At school, I was building it up. I had my interest at Amtara.
Where should I go? Where should I go?
After that, I still have